That's better. Just been pressed the wrong button, ain't I? Whew. How you going, bud?
I'm really good, mate. Really good.
And we haven't been working today all day, have we? Well,
No,
I've done a bit.
No, I've pretty much done nothing.
Good lad. It's the best way. I've took the truck to be cleaned. And then, what else did I do? I had to get some trim for around the windows inside the bathroom, you know, the plastic.
Yeah.
I got some 35mm to cover that up. Then I come back and me and Junie have done a bit more.
Nice, nice.
So you've done nothing. Good lad.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Been a nice, easy day for me.
Yeah. Comments are still good though, aren't they, mate?
Yes, very surprised, and I'm surprised that we're here.
Yeah.
Because we weren't meant to be.
Weren't meant to be here again, were we?
No,
We meant
it's
to do
the second unexpected one now.
Now, there won't be one next week, right? There won't be one next week. Well, no, because this is going out when... Anyway, we'll see. Right, mate, I had to go to Aldi the other day, and I found these beers. It says new. Harper's Brewing Company Pale Ale. English Pale Ale, unique and refreshing.
I bet it's made from the finest
Oh,
ingredients.
I bet it is. Anyway, do you want to do this one, or do you want to do the Iron Maiden one first? As you're a bit of a rocker, bit of a...
Oh yeah, we've got the Iron Maiden Trooper.
Yeah. Is that Eddie on the front?
It is.
Eddie.
It is.
What do you want to do?
Probably the Pale Ale.
You want to go with the Pale Ale first?
Because
right.
I think this will taste richer.
Yes.
I think.
Right. So let's do the thumbnail. Let's get that lined up there. Might be able. I wonder if I can do that. See if I can do it. There we go. There's the thumbnail. You like a thumbnail, don't you?
I do. Yes, I'm quite used to these thumbnails now. Me being all really technical.
There you go, Cocker.
I'm the most untechnical person you'll ever. In fact, what I have tried to do when I've been at home today is reset up my Xbox account.
Right. Oh.
Which I haven't done since I moved house nearly 2 years ago. I don't play online.
No.
So I've not bothered linking it to the internet.
Ginge does.
Yeah, I just never played online. I've been a gamer for all my life, pretty much. And I use an Xbox and I use a PlayStation, but I don't have either of them set up online.
No.
And it's so slow loading the games now, and I can't, you know. So I thought, well, I'll finally get round to doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Ginge does it.
It needed to update itself, which took about
ages,
hour and a half, 2
Yeah.
hours, because it's so long since I've done it. And then I put all the thing in off the back of the, you know, the router thing, and put all the code in and that. They weren't having that. Tried again.
Oh,
then it's supposed to send me a message. It didn't recognise my phone number, so in the end I've just tried to set up a new account.
Over your knee.
Yeah, and it's still. I tried it with email, which I don't really email, and I tried it with phone number, and it still didn't send me the code. So yeah, I bid it bollocks and come over here for a beer with you, Dave.
Oh, that's it. That's the too complicated. Remember the old days when you first started off with Pong?
Yeah.
And you did that.
Still got one.
Yeah. But that's worth a few quid.
I've still got every console I've ever had and every game I've ever owned.
Yeah. Then you played Space Invaders on Atari.
Still got 2 Atari consoles.
And then you went on to Sonic on the fucking... Oh, no, you did Sinclair.
Well, I never had Sinclair.
Did you?
And I never had... who were the ones who made Donkey Kong and that? I never had them.
Oh,
the NES.
Yeah,
I never had any of them. But I had the... I used to play Sonic on I had a Master System and a Mega Drive, and I've still got
both. Mega Drive,
I've still got all the games. Yeah.
Not too quick.
There's a loft full of consoles.
Yeah, they're big money though, ain't they?
Well, Karen's boss, he collects retro stuff.
Yeah.
So he's always pestering her to get me to sell them. Well, and I'm thinking, well, I'm getting to the point now where I've got to get rid of stuff. I've got so much stuff.
Yeah.
So I am thinking about actually getting rid of all my retro stuff, because I'm never going to play them again.
No, you don't. The thing is, it's like... When we moved over here, we got that much crap in the bloody... I mean, what I have got, and I won't get rid of, is that I've got a 3 Series 2.5 BMW little model car.
Right.
Electric control.
Yeah.
And I won't get rid of that. And I've also got the Sweeney Game Board. Board game.
Yeah.
And I've never played it. It's never been open. And I've still got it.
See, board games can fetch money.
Yeah.
We've just found a load of Karen's uncles and I was going to give them my mate's mum to car boot, and then I noticed that a couple of them are made by Palitoy.
Oh, there you go.
And one escaped from Colditz.
Oh, yes.
So Karen looked it up, and it's going for like 30, 40 quid.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, there's a stack of about a dozen, and they're all sort of, I'd say, late 60s, 70s games, and I'm thinking, well, it might be worth, you know, trying to sell them.
I know what you mean. It's that kind of thing. Right, let's just have a quick look at this beer, then we can dive into it. A smooth, suitable, fruity, supple. Sorry, I can't. They mark these things down, don't they? And you can't see them on the can.
No.
Subtle fruitness, perfectly completed. Complements the rich roasted malt notes. Smooth and malty. This is perfect balance of flavour and refreshment.
A 4.8.
It's a 4.8, and it's in Aldi. Where's it made?
Quite like the subtle Union Jack on the can.
Yeah.
Union
it does
flag.
Look good, doesn't it?
Union flag. Sorry. Before anybody comments.
Yeah, they do. They pick up everything, mate. Some of them are. Yeah, it is a nice can. I can't see who's made it. Let's dive into this. Smells of beer. It's dark, isn't it?
Mm.
And it is fruity, rich, malty kind of stuff. Bit flat.
No, I was going to say the opposite.
Really?
I think that's got a little bit of fizz in it. That's not bad at all.
Well, that's good then, because we don't have the same opinion. You don't want to have the same opinion, do we? You want to say what you think.
I wanted to go to belch when I'm drinking that. That's, for me, that is quite gassy.
There again, I've been sanding. My mouth tastes like the bottom of a fucking flip-flop.
Yeah. Whose?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
We all know the saying.
Alibaba. Did he wear flip-flops?
No.
Or it Jesus?
Gandhi did.
Gandhi's flip-flop, didn't we? He had a flip-flop or two.
That is.
It ain't too bad. I don't dislike it, and I think it was
quite pleasant.
It was quite cheap as well. But it's Aldi, isn't it? It's bound to be. Bound to be cheap.
Even their premium stuff is cheap in comparison.
Yeah, it is. You're right. So you'd buy that again, would you, mate? No.
I possibly would actually. Yeah, for a change.
Do they sell London Pride in?
Not seen it in Aldi. They don't tend to have a lot of brand name stuff. They go in phases.
Yeah.
Whether they do a deal with certain companies and then you'll see they'll have Carlin in, or they'll have Carlsberg, or they'll have whatever. But it's not.
When it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, when it's gone, it's gone. But no, I don't know as I've ever seen London Pride in there. Karen gets it me from it's a little post office come corner shop, but it's not on a corner. And she gets me London Pride from there. Yeah.
Or
everything.
If they're in Australia, a bottle-o.
Is it bottle-o? Is it
bottle-o? I think it is. I'm sure it is. Yeah. All different names. What do you call your off licence then, people? Well, I've not.
Beer off. I've heard them called beer offs before.
What was that then? Did someone just touch me?
Wasn't me.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate.
We
need you in there.
It's Mrs.
Yeah,
Moore.
you know what? We need you in there. Because when I was. When Bren was doing our stairs, you saw a little boy or something, didn't you?
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Well, while I've been working in Mrs. Moore's bedroom, Mrs. Moore has sadly passed away, and we're doing the place up. And when I was doing the walls, sanding the walls and filling them, I kept getting a feeling that somebody was looking around the door at me. And then it's like, you think, there's somebody there, and then you look and there's nobody there, and it's fucking. I mean, the house that we've got was built in 1465.
Yeah.
So there's got to have been a few people dying there. And when we were working in, because you didn't want to say anything, did you?
I didn't, because I thought, you being you, I'd think that you wouldn't believe in such things, and you'd think I was a pretty idiot. So no, I purposely didn't say anything.
Well, what happened was,
I told Karen. I did tell Karen, because she's really into things like that.
Well, I told. Me and June were working in. She were in the dining room, and I was in the living room. And I was cutting some wood. I was fitting a threshold strip in between the doors. And anyway, we've got the dogs with us, and we heard this. And I said to June, I went, fucking dogs are upstairs again. And I said, well, they can't be, because there was a sideboard and we'd put it in front of the stairs, because I was going to take it, I've got it on Facebook Marketplace, and there was somebody down the road having it. And then I went out and thought, can't. Anyway, the lurcher, he was on the chair, and Twoodle, he was like just looking at us, wagging his head and his tail. And like, we looked at each other and thought, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. And
anyway, while I've also been working in there, and I was cutting some wood, and I felt something grab my hand, my arm there. And she was like looking at me, talking to me, and I looked up at her and she went, what's up? I said, something's just grabbed my hand, just grabbed my arm. It's just, it had grabbed, it had like gently grabbed it.
Yeah.
And I just like, there you go. And times, you'll see, we're in the house, and then, you know, you go to bed, you're going to have a piss, don't you? Not in the bed.
Yeah.
Right, but anyway, she was sitting on the bog.
Unless you're into that.
Yeah,
you know,
you might be.
We're not,
if you are, if you're into that, fair play, golden showers and all that, you go for it. She was sitting on the bog. And anyway, I was downstairs, I was sorting the dogs out, letting them in, making sure they go for a piss. Anyway, she come in and she went into the bedroom and she goes, Dave? I went, what? She goes, I thought you were up here. Somebody's just walked by the toilet into the bedroom.
June's told me that.
Yeah, and it's like,
yeah, June's told me that.
Yeah, so in there, anyway, she were in there the other day, and they said there's somebody there watching me. And when you turn to look, there's nobody there, obviously, but it's
now,
weird.
I've not sensed anything in number 2. But number 1, definitely.
Yeah.
In the manor, definitely. 100%.
Yeah.
You know, whether you believe or whether you don't, some people do, some people don't.
Well, as the story goes, or as as it goes, there used to be a doctor and his wife live in the manor, and they'd got a little boy, and he always used to play on the stairs. Anyway, he fell down the stairs and broke his neck.
Well, that's where I saw him.
Yeah.
Twice, both times on the stairs. Yeah.
So.
And I didn't know that before.
No, you didn't.
Told me that at the time.
Because somebody,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we'd been asking questions who'd lived here, and it was a Welshman, a doctor, and he'd got a little boy and he fell down the stairs and broke his neck.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, I saw him twice. Nothing, not scary or anything like that.
No.
It just there's not a bad feeling in the place.
No.
It feels really calm in there, to be honest.
Yeah, it does.
But I do tend to sense stuff like that.
I tell you what though, if me and June have an argument, and we don't have many arguments, it's just normal fucking arguments between I've not cleaned up or I've done something, or
it's bound to be your fault.
Yeah, and to be fair, doing this place up, it's been fucking stressful.
Yeah, yeah.
And if we have an argument, things happen. You hear things more. It's almost as if to say it doesn't like
they don't
shouting.
Like stress, and they don't like no.
So yeah, it's quite weird.
But no, I can't say as I've sensed anything in number 2. But then again, I've not really been. I have been all around the place, obviously, but I've spent most of the time either outside or in that bathroom. Whereas when I was there, I mean, I spent months there in each, weeks in each room, basically, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. And them stairs were a fucking pain in the arse, weren't they?
Yeah, I did spend a lot of time on the stairs.
Yeah, but oh fucking hell! If you want to see the stairs, folks, I've actually got a video out of me renovating the stairs, and that nearly finished our marriage.
Well, you got one of these ghost detector things on your phone, didn't you?
Yeah, we have got one.
You sent me a video of the little. It comes out like a little green stick man type
Yeah, you
thing.
can get this thing. Watch Adam Mark Explores, and he had the app on his phone, and it shows you. You hold it up to something. In fact, let me start the video again. Right, what it is. Right, 1 second.
Because I know you sent it me after I'd finished it. You actually sent me a video of it.
Yeah, because there was a bloke. I've got a table, hadn't I, by the door.
Yeah.
And it looked like there was somebody sitting on the. Right, it's Ghost Tube. It's SLS. next. Right, you read it. Is it? Don't allow notifications. So what it is, you actually hold that up. What the fuck was that?
I was just going to say, we've got something already. There was a green
what you
line
do,
there.
you hold that up. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. You hold that up. Oh, is it? Yeah, you see the pride thing, can't you? And what happens is you'll get a stick man or something come up. It'll pick all kinds of things up, but you can actually.
There's missing more in the greenhouse.
What the fuck was that then?
There's something in Polly there. I saw it.
And I weren't recording it, so I can't.
Have you tried?
I mean that'll just come up as the camera look because it's picking up the electric.
Yeah.
But there was something there then, weren't there?
There was, yeah.
Hey, it's there again.
I missed it. I was looking in there then.
No, that's you see, yeah, that's picking up metal and stuff.
Like an electronic signal.
Yeah, but if you do it, folks, go on the app and get Gross Tube. And then there's another one where you can, that Adam Mark Explores had. And you talk to it and it'll give you certain words. Well, anyway, the cottage that I used to own down the road, before I sold it, we walked in and they went, is there anybody here? Anybody like to communicate through the device? And if you watch Adam Mark Explores, you'll know it all. It's good, Adam Mark Explores. And anyway, we went in there, started all this stuff, and the first name that came up was Sid. My granddad was called Sid.
Yeah.
And it's like, we just looked at each other and like went cold.
Not a usual name, you know.
No,
not a really common name, is it?
And it was Sid, not Sydney or anything like that. It was Sid. And like, anybody there? Sid. And we just looked at each other and went, fucking hell.
Wow.
And also, apart from that, apparently there used to be, there was in the barns that we'd got at the back, there was a girl who hung herself. Is it hung or hanged?
I will say hung.
Yeah, I thought it was hung.
Yeah, I don't know. Hanged.
Just
hung.
In court, you get taken where you'll be hung from the neck, won't you?
Yeah.
That's it. And apparently she killed herself, and she haunts the pub. And
there's supposed to be a couple that haunt.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of the gal, and that's came up on it as well. Because when we first got it, we were walking around doing the ghosty thing. Because Junie's into all that shit. And anyway, it's like, oh fuck. And there used to be a Roman. This used to be have a Roman settlement down here.
Yeah, you said about it. I didn't know.
Yeah,
about
and that it said it's mentioned Romans and stuff a couple of times as well. Now I know. I mean, Scott, he'll go on and say, it's all GPS and all this kind of stuff. That don't know that my granddad was called Sid.
No, that's true.
I'm just going to text June and say.
As I say, it's not like saying John or a common name.
No, it's Sid.
Yeah,
and it's just the fact that my granddad was called Sid, and this is like part of his family.
I can only think of two other Sids, and that's one guy in Shapshad, and his name isn't Sid, but his nickname was always Sid, and obviously Vicious.
Yeah. But now, Sid, my granddad. Right, just text June and say ghosted Polly 2.
She'll be round.
She will! She'll be going, right. So what you got planned for the weekend, Cocker?
Not a lot. I'm going to have a bit of a chill out weekend, I think, this week.
Good lad.
Got to do a tip run at some point because I've been clearing out my workshop.
I like tip, you know.
Well, I'm getting sick of them because we're clearing out Brian's house. I've been some days I've been doing 3 tip runs a day.
Yeah.
Just literally loading the car up. I mean, I bought that new car, and then within 3 weeks, I dropped the seats in it to basically it's an estate car. And it's the nicest car. It's the nicest car I've ever owned in my life, and it cost me more than my last 4 cars all added together cost me.
Well, you buy a car, don't you, Bren, and just fucking run it into the ground?
I normally pay 500-600 quid for a car.
Yeah.
They'll normally last me 5 years, 6 years.
Well, that's all you need, isn't it?
And I run them into the ground and I weigh them in for scrap, and I get minimum £150 scrap.
So it's sorted you out, isn't it?
They cost me wear and tear. They cost me tyres, they cost me exhaust, they cost me brakes.
I had that Scudo. I had that Scudo, that blue Scudo. And that did me down to the ground. And then I sold it to a place when I Partexed it for the tranny. And the Transit. Not a confused person. And I mean, when did I have that? 20. I can't remember when it was. I think I had it in 2019, at the start of 2019. And I'll just keep that now until I'm ready to get rid of it. I won't. And the same with the truck. I'll keep the truck because that truck will stay with me for as long as I need it. And then I'll probably get something a bit smaller, like a Freelander or something like that.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a truck.
I mean, your Transit's done well. You know.
Yeah, I think it's done about 112,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's had a new turbo in it, and it fucking flies. I tell you, it will sit on the motorway doing 70.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I'll be sitting on Beamer's fucking bonnets, boots,
and
Mercs, and pushing them out the way.
Yeah.
It just fucking gobbles the road up. It's fucking amazing.
Yes, can you remember the good old days when you used to? We like the good old days, don't we?
We do like the good old. In fact, the people who watch these videos like the good old days and all. What, the TV show?
Oh, yeah. But now about your van, and it just made me think of something. You know, years ago, you could actually send me a message saying, I'm going to be half an hour, I'm coming in the tranny.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it now, could you?
No. There's no way I'm coming in a tranny.
No. I'll be half an hour, I'm coming in the tranny.
Yes. No, I don't, you know, I know a bloke, and he went to Thailand, and
to Ireland or Thailand?
Thailand.
Yeah, not Yorkshire.
No, not Yorkshire. I'm from Yorkshire, where God's country, and he went to Thailand.
Buddy.
Cheers, buddy. Oh, we ain't done that one, have we? Good health. Cheers, and you. And he went to Thailand. Anyway, he says, I was sitting in this bar, and he says, this prostitute or whatever it were, a lady of the night or whatever, came up, and anyway, he ended up taking back her place. And he says, I fucked her all over the place. He said it cost so many, whatever the currency is out there.
Bart, is it?
I don't know. If it's want to be Bart Simpson, it can be.
I think it's Bart, I'm not sure.
I don't know. So anyway, he says, I fucked her all over the place. He says, and she was fucking brilliant. He says, it was one of the best shags I've had in my life. He says, absolutely amazing. So anyway, he says, he came round to like 9 o'clock in the morning. And got ready, she got up. And anyway, so I went to pay her. And she went, by the way, my name's fucking whatever. And he says,
Alan.
Which he said it was Jim. And he says, and he went, well, he says, fair play to you. He says, you're one of the best shags I've had.
Well done, Jim.
Because I would hazard a guess, a bloke knows what a bloke wants, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
and as a woman, I'd know what a woman wants.
Exactly, yeah. So when you're doing stuff and sucking his cock, and you just think, right, now you can shove your finger up my bum, or now you can squeeze me bollocks, they would know.
Yeah.
Whatever turns you on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That
what the fuck were we on about to get on there?
That turned rather dramatically down.
Yeah, we were on about transit vans doing a fucking 70 mile an hour on a motorway.
Tip runs.
Yeah.
Tangents. They're called tangents, isn't they? We just go off on tangents.
We started on a tip run, and then we ended up having a finger shoved up your arse while you're having a blowjob.
Well, I can remember a guy in Shepshed. And we were sitting in a pub one night, and he used to be a kickboxer.
All right.
And a very good one. And he apparently, I believe.
I suppose you've got to be if you're living in Shepshed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I believe he kickboxed for England, and they went out to Thailand with the crew, I think. And when he came back, he was saying that he was sitting at a bar, one of these bars where things happen.
They pull a curtain around them, don't they?
Well, they weren't. He said they were all sat in a row at the bar, and they were all like, they were ladies of the night had come up and they were down on the knees and doing what they do, you know what I mean? And
well, with him being from Shepshire.
Well, you know. And then the geezer next to him said, "You do realise that's a bloke?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "You what?" He said, "You know that's a bloke who's attached to you orally."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said to him, "You're joking." I said, "What did you do?" He says, "Let him carry on, it was brilliant."
Yeah.
And I'm like, if it happened, fair enough. But would you really come back and tell your mates about it in the pub?
Well, I suppose it's a talking point, isn't it?
It certainly were that night.
I would hazard a guess.
It certainly were that night. And this, I must be going back 20 years and I'm still talking about it now. So.
Yeah, but on the internet, you can do these quizzes, can't you? Because my mate Plummer, excuse me, he bought his phone in and he got this thing where you swipe through the pictures and it was male or female. So he got 20 pictures of these Thai birds and it was like, which one's a male and which one's a female? And I tell you what, you wouldn't fucking know.
No.
It's not like the ones round here now, is it? It's not like the ones round here when they just put a ponytail on and a bit of lipstick. And
it's like putting lipstick on a pig, isn't it? You know what I mean? You can tell the difference.
But it's like, Chris brought this in and you would not know, you couldn't guess who was it. So out in Thailand, they're all the same shape, aren't they? They're all the same feminine kind of, you know what I mean? But can you remember the Steptoe film? Was it Steptoe?
I love Steptoe, mate. I've got the box set of the DVDs with every episode, including the original black and whites and the original pilot show and all the films in
which is good then, because Harry H. Corbett were fucking broke, weren't they?
I loved them both.
Yeah.
Wilfred Brambro
was very posh.
And apparently very gay.
Was he?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. And that don't...
Now, I could be wrong on that. Please, if there's any relatives of Wilfred Bramwell listening,
I doubt it.
Please don't sue me. But yeah.
But
no, I believe he was. I believe he was gay.
Can you remember? As there probably a lot of people were in the 60s and 70s.
Well, look at Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson,
like that, you know what I mean? And they reckon James Dean.
James Dean
was one of Rock Hudson's
Up the Bummers
young boys.
Yeah.
Because James Dean was young.
Well, can you remember when in that film? Was it Steptoe Rides Again?
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the pub and they got like a drag artist on and the drag artist was coming on to Wilfred Bramble.
Yeah.
And and there was also who the fucking Aussie who did the Crocodile Dundee?
Yeah.
Paul Hogan.
Yeah,
in that
and
film.
He grabs an handful, doesn't he? Yeah.
That one as well, weren't there? God.
Well, I can remember, it's nearly 30 years ago now, I was on holiday. I'd gone on holiday for 4 years, as you do, when you find a judge that ain't got a sense of humour. And I was in this, I was staying
fucking Ronnie Biggs!
I was staying at this lovely big castle in Leicester. Just on the Welford Road it was.
Oh, that one.
My sister had been out with her boyfriend, I think at the time. They later married and then divorced, as you do. But they'd been to Ashby, and this new club had opened up in Ashby called the Continental.
Oh, yeah.
The Conti Club, for sure.
Yeah, I remember that. I never actually went.
Well, it was a transvestite bar.
Yeah.
And they used to have drag acts and everything like that on. Now, my sister used to send me photos. Every time they went out somewhere, she'd send me photos.
Yeah.
Because it cheers you up inside. You get a letter. Any letter cheers you up inside. If you know anybody who's inside, send them a letter. They really appreciate it. But, so she sent me these pictures of these drag acts.
Yeah, I'm listening.
With her boyfriend. And like a couple of them were sitting on his knee and that. And they looked absolutely stunning. I knew they were blokes.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell by looking at them. So I'm showing them all the lads inside. Would you? Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they weren't, not one of them said no.
Yeah.
And I said, would you really?
Well, that's probably...
Yeah, I would. Oh, God, yeah, definitely. I'd do that all night long. And then I showed them the letter from my sister saying that they're all blokes. And you wouldn't believe these are blokes, would you? Yeah. So I took the mickey for a few weeks over there.
Well, that's probably just testosterone. But that's the lie, isn't it? But to be fair, when you go to it's like Danny LaRue and all them, weren't it? It's like, you knew what they were, and they were entertainers, and I suppose for them they were escaping for that minute. But I don't know. It's just that some nowadays it's like, if you're gonna be trans, put some fucking effort into it.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big believer in that.
We're all different. We're all, you know. But
if you want to hear a brilliant song about a transvestite, now I can only think of two.
Lola.
One is, well, look, three. Sorry, I never thought of Lola. Now, Lola is a brilliant song and well ahead of its time. The other, of course, Sweet Transvestite from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, that's a fucking... Yeah, have you ever been to that?
No, but Karen's really into it, and we must go one day. But,
yeah, I always fancied that.
But this one, it's a modern song, and it came out this year, or back end of last year, and it's by a singer called Louis Dumford, who I absolutely love. He's a young lad, well, he's about 30 now, I think. But he's just released his first album.
It's just gone.
He released a brilliant song called Billy Flynn of Bethnal Green, and it's about an Irish boxer who on weekends, behind everybody's back without everybody knowing, dresses up as a transvestite and goes dancing down in Soho. And the lyrics to it are absolutely amazing. Billy Flynn of Bethnal Green. I recommend that everybody Google it. And Louis just released his first album. It came out about a couple of months ago, and it's absolutely amazing.
I can't remember if I've heard so much about that.
It's Linda Robson, the actress who used to be in Birds of a Feather.
Yeah.
It's her son. Louis Dumford is her son.
Right.
But he's never played on his mum's.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's never tried to piggyback.
He's literally done it all himself. He's just sold out Ali Pali.
Really?
He did the gig there a couple of months ago, and he sold out Ali Pali. And I follow him on. I don't know him. I've never met him. I've been to see him a couple of times live. I got your sister into him massively, and we went and seen him at Rock City at Nottingham. I actually got him on my old stage at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
The year after I retired.
Right.
I'd written to Billy Bragg and sent him clips, links to Louis Dumford, and said, "You've got to listen to this guy.
Right.
It reminds me of a young you." And then, obviously, the actual booked for that year at Glastonbury, and Billy replied saying, and started quoting me Louis Dumford lyrics, so I know he actually listened to it. And then the year after I retired, I saw the lineup for my stage, and Louis Dumford's on, and I'm like, fucking hell.
Oh, fucking hell, fair play.
To the point I almost said, well, I might come back for another
was
year.
that like Glastonbury? Was that like a big boost for him?
Massive,
yeah,
massive. And this
what
year,
stage did he play? The
left field, my old stage. But this year, he's just put it on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram. This year, he's playing the other stage at Glastonbury, which is the second biggest stage. You've got the Pyramid stage, and then the other stage, it's called, and he's playing on that this year.
Oh, fair play.
So
well done,
last year he played on my old stage, and this year he's playing the other stage. So yeah, he's going to do well, that boy.
Yeah.
Elton John's just started messaging him.
Oh God.
He just released a video of, because he's a massive Elton John fan, and he said, like, my year just couldn't get any better. He said, and he put this live, must have been a Zoom call or whatever they are these days, between him and Elton John. He released, there's another song on the album called Queer. And Elton John.
Elton's gonna love that.
Yeah,
I've got to say, he's gonna love that.
So, yeah. Queen.
I like Elton John.
Oh, I do. Well, he was on last year, and I missed him. So it's weird. There ain't been any headline acts that I've really wanted to see at Glastonbury for about the last 10 years, maybe.
Yeah.
And I started getting bored, and I'm thinking, I just can't be arsed anymore. So I've retired. But the only two acts I've never seen live that I really want to see, for some weird reason, is Elton John and Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Last year, Elton John ran, I missed him. This year, Rod Stewart's on.
Fuck me.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I like Elton. I mean, he's a bit of a he's up his own arse and all that. But these people have to be, don't they? It's like people will have a go at Liam Gallagher. And
it's all part of the image.
It is. Mate. You've got to have attitude. You've got to have confidence. You've got to be a fucking wanker.
Yeah, of course you are.
To do what this is.
The music business is it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. And if you're not like that, there's your Mr. 20%, your managers who are just going to walk all over you and just use your talent to make them money because they're talentless.
Yeah.
You've got booking agents, you've got this, you know, there's so much involved in it.
Yeah.
Promoters.
Yeah.
You've
but Ed
got
Sheeran,
to stand
you
your
know,
ground.
what's on Ed Sheeran? Because he seems a nice lad, and sometimes he seems too fucking
He's
nice.
going very, very world music at the minute.
Yeah.
His last song, his new single is very Indian, with a lot of Indian lyrics in it, and a very sort of Bollywood Indian sound behind it. That's his latest single. The one before that, I think, was Persian, and it was actually titled, I can't remember the title now, but I think it was a Persian word, and he used a Persian record producer, I believe, on his last album. So I'm presuming this album, whatever that's going to be called, it'll be some plus minus whatever, because all his are, isn't it? His album was plus and minus and times or multiply or whatever.
He'll use a Persian plus.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, or you know, it'll be divide or whatever. But yeah, he's because he's another one that Elton John out to no end, and I'll give Elton John his due for that. And I don't think he does it for any nefarious reasons. He likes to mentor young artists.
He likes to groom the younger ones.
But now I don't think it is, because he does as many female as he does male.
Yeah.
And we all know Elton John, he's gay. He's out and out gay.
Yeah.
But he really, really mentors.
As what were her name? Renata or
Renata?
No, what was his missus' name when he got married? It was Ren something, weren't it? He got married, didn't he?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He got married.
Yes, he did. I forgot all about that.
And that I don't know. Well, no, I tell you what, fair play to Elton John. I mean, he's been going, what? How old is he? Is he 80 yet?
Yeah, he's got to be in his 80s.
Let's have a look.
I'd have thought.
Elton John. And fair play to him, because he's been going fucking ever, isn't he? And he's always...
And he's done well to stick with Bernie Taupin. You know, for a writing partnership to last that long, and such a good writing partnership to last that long. I mean, him and Bernie Taupin have been together forever.
Yeah, Elton John, right.
But you get people like Robbie Williams
78?
and Guy Chambers. It's 78. Oh, I thought I'd have said he was 80. But
78, looks like Mr. Toad. With a wig on.
He don't wear wigs, does he?
No. Of course he don't. Of course he don't.
We all seem to get back to music, unfortunately. That's probably my fault, because music's my life. Whether it's playing it, listening to it, music will always be my life.
I think we've got a good... we cover a lot of... don't do that, Dave, on it. You're fucking hell.
Oh dear.
That'll get photoshopped. I'll end up looking like Elon Musk. You ever seen that? I think
the
it was...
Elon Musk one?
No.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen
Flipping
that.
heck. Then how can you say that was anything other than what it was?
Touching his heart and throwing it out there.
Yeah.
See, that'll upset people. Anyway, there was a German comedian, and it was set... it was like in the 70s. And you know, like the Wheel Tappers?
Wheel Tappers and Shunters
Yeah,
Social
it was
Club.
like that. It was
affiliated.
Yeah, it was like that. Or the London Palladium back in the 70s. You know that?
Yeah.
So
well, they were
anyway,
all like your Bernard Mannings and people like that were on that.
Right. So anyway, it's a German one. And they've got this German comedian. And he's going on there and he's shouting. He's done a joke and he's got the whole crowd. He's got the crowd like in the palm of his hand. And he's going, hip hip. And they're all going, hooray. They went, hip hip, hooray. And he went, Zeke. And they all went, Heil. It was fucking brilliant. It was
Just because they weren't like following what he was saying. Without even thinking.
Yeah, he went, Zeke. And they all went, Heil. And it was fucking brilliant. And I watched it so many times.
I saw a video the other day on TikTok. And it was this little old German. It was this little old lady's 100th birthday.
Oh, God.
And they'd poured shots. So they've all got shots of whatever it were, and it's a family gathering, and like somebody's home video, somebody's videoing it. And they all said, happy birthday. And the old girl picks up a... I've got to be careful, I probably can't say what I was going to say. But she picks up a glass and says something that begins with S and something then that begins with H.
Right.
Following it very quickly.
And it's in there.
And she just picks the glass up and says this. No, sorry, she doesn't. Not that. She says, Heil. and then says a name, and then says a name. That's it. She picks up the shot and says Heil, and then a name, which we all know, and takes a shot, and they're all going, no,
I've got it. Hold on. Oh,
what, the one I'm on about?
No, the one I'm on about.
Oh, right.
Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Sieg.
Fucking brilliant, isn't it? Right, I'm going to show it.
Which is illegal in Germany.
Yeah.
It's illegal to say that in Germany.
Yeah, right.
It's illegal to wear any
I'm going to hold it up.
rings.
I'm going to hold it up to the fact, up to the...
Die Stimmung. Ziegelzange, Ziegelzange. Ziegelzange, Ziegelzange. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Sieg.
You just done it without thinking.
Yeah. And there they all are, look.
Ja. Was? So viele alte Kameraden haben dir das.
That is actually illegal in Germany.
Yeah.
It's illegal to wear any SS runes, it's illegal to wear a swastika, it's actually illegal and an arrestable offence.
But it's brilliant how they all just went.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's one of them things that's buried in your head.
Yeah.
Even if you're not German.
Yeah.
If somebody
Of course
said
it
that
is, yeah.
word, you would automatically think the next word. Even
Yeah,
if you
you
didn't
would.
say it, you would think that next word.
Fucking amazing, isn't it? Made me laugh. That'll probably get me demonetised on this. This will be a yellow sign.
Well, I thought that when I was going to say what this old lady said, but that was so funny.
Yeah.
And she just genuinely just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see this?
The faces on the rest of the family like just dropped.
Yeah. But this is why these are good though, Bren. These little beers from the air raid shelter.
Yeah.
Because the fucking Germans were bombing us.
At least they didn't bomb our chippy.
No. But this is what these are. These are good because it's like you see. If we'd have been in the pub now, I'd have shown you that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'd have shown
to me,
Jack
this
Howard.
is like being in the pub.
Yeah, I'd have shown Jack Howard and all the others. It'd have been brilliant.
Yeah, I just hope the people out there are having a drink with us because I know there's a few keep commenting that they like to have a beer with us.
I know Jack does. I know Brad Evans does.
Well, I know I ain't had a chance
Shite
today to
outside
actually go back on the video again and look at the comments. I did yesterday, I did last night, and I answered some comments last night.
Yeah.
Because I feel that if a few guys out there have been bothered to send a comment or a question or whatever that's vaguely directed at me, I will answer it.
Yeah.
I will always answer it because I think it's just common courtesy. If you've took the time, then I'll take the time to reply back.
Yeah.
I was getting my phone because I'm not good with phones.
No.
And I don't know how to turn this off and not turn that off, so I don't turn anything off.
Yeah.
I have to turn all that off. I was lying in bed last night and up to
You were
about
getting notifications
1 a.m.
from YouTube.
I think 1 a.m. The last one I got was 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, it's just going to be YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
But I better just.
check.
I mean, I weren't asleep. I've told you before. I'm never asleep before 4 a.m. ever. So I just kept looking, thinking, well, it could be something else.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, but I know it's going to be YouTube. But
And the
it's
little
there,
brown-
and I'm thinking, well, I better have a look.
Yeah, the little brownie YouTube thing comes up, doesn't it? So,
I just got one of them pull bar things that Karen sorted out. You just sort of pull it down without actually opening.
Yeah, you've
So
got
I could
it,
pull
yeah.
it down and see what the notification
that's
is. You
it.
know what I mean? It's I want to know how to do it. But
So she gets the notification when the new one's up. 'Cause I sent you a message last night.
no,
The video's up.
I said before you sent me that message, I'd said. I bet the new video will be. We were talking about
Thursday,
something.
I put 'em out,
We were talking about something I'd said on a video, and I couldn't remember which one it were. And she says, "Well, I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen that bit." She said, "Unless I'd zoned out." Well, thank you, Karen.
Yeah.
But
you've seen
and I
that,
said, well,
you've stoned out.
I said, well, it could be on the next one. I said, I forgot we've recorded one. I said, I bet it'll come out today.
Yeah, come out.
I think
yeah.
Dave said he normally puts them out on a
On
Thursday.
a Thursday, yeah.
Yeah,
You can get the Thursday viewers,
well,
and
she
then
looked.
you can get the weekend
She's
viewers.
gone straight on then and had a look, and she said, yeah, it's out. It's just up now. It's been up 5 minutes or 6 minutes or whatever.
Ah, it's good though, isn't it? Oh, it's lovely.
Funnily enough, I didn't watch it straight away. I was in the pub.
All right, happy days.
The Engineer's Arms at Colville. Great pub. Lovely beer garden out there, and the beer's so cheap.
Is that the bikers pub? Or
No, that's the Vic, the Victoria.
Because I keep meaning to go in and do a couple of pubs around Colville.
The engine's really good. I know we've had comments saying that John Smith is crap beer. I happen to like it. A pint of John Smith's in there is £2.75.
Fucking
All day,
hell.
every day.
Yeah.
All day, every day. It's just gone up. It was £2.50.
Yeah.
It's just gone up to £2.75.
And people are moaning.
Some of the old boys were actually, yeah.
Well,
Because it's straight opposite Spoons. When it first opened, they kept the prices.
oh, it's down there, isn't
yeah,
it? Yeah.
it's opposite Spoons.
Yeah, opposite the old bank.
Yeah.
Near
that's
the
right.
old bank.
Yeah. Opposite the old
Near
bank.
the train line.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
down a bit from. Yeah, it's next to the old nightclub.
That's it. I seen Bernard Manning there, you know.
Really?
Yeah. I went, right, now this is Colville. If people know Colville, you won't believe this. I went to go in, what was it, the
Coville.
Emporium?
Coville.
Loot, boot, kook and fook. Right, and I went to go in, and I think I must have been, what, 19, 20? I mean, this is a long fucking time ago. And anyway, we went to go in the Emporium, and Bernard Manning were on. And I went in a T-shirt. It's fucking Colville. Anyway, I went to go in, the bloke went, you ain't coming in. I went, why? I says, you ain't got a collar on. I went, for fuck's sake, mate, it's Colville. He says, you're not coming in. I had to run all the way up to my granny's, who lived in Oxford Street. My granddad had been dead God knows how long. Fortunately, she'd kept some of his shirts.
Yeah.
Sentimental stuff.
Yeah.
And I had to go back down. I had to put one of my granddad's shirts on and go back down. And he let me in.
Yeah.
And like my T-shirt was worth a fucking fortune.
Yeah. That
The granddad's
shirt, the dog-eared
shirt.
old shirt. Yeah.
Fuck's
yeah.
sake. You know, it's like, why did they do that?
Yeah. I went to a place once years ago. I used to know these three girls. Never anything in it. We were just mates. And when I was at the truck stop at Shep Shed, when I was running that, I used to finish at 10 o'clock at night when I was on the afternoon shift. And these girls would come and pick me up. And then we'd either go to Rock City, weekends.
Yeah.
We'd either, like on a Friday night, we'd go to Rock City.
So like mates with skirts on.
Yeah, and they were, and they drove. Yeah. They used to take it in turns to drive, so that I didn't have to drive, so that I could just go out and get bladdered. It was great, it was brilliant, and we were just friends.
Yeah.
There were never anything in it, we were always just friends. But we'd go to Rock City, we'd go to
Rock City, what a place.
Derby, the Rock House at Derby, which is long gone. And then every now and again, we used to go to this club. And it was miles away, and I mean miles away. And it was called at Cheadle.
Oh, right.
It was at Cheadle, and it was called the Highwayman at Cheadle. And we used to, the very, very first time I'd heard about it, and the very first time we ever went over this, it's a long way Cheadle is. We drove there. I've had a few cans in the back of the car. It's all good. We've got music on. Gets there, and it's like a rock club.
Yeah.
So like, no dress code as such.
Yeah.
So I've got my cut off on, you know, my old ripped up jeans and a t-shirt. Gets to the door and everybody's letting everybody in, and I get there and he's like, "Can't come in, mate." So why not? This is your boots, external steel toe cap boots. He said, "I can't let you in Steelies, mate." I said, "Look, I'm with three girls. I ain't come to cause trouble. You know what I mean? I'm just here for a beer." I said, "It's all aware," and he says, "Can't let you in with Steelies, mate. You can't." He said, "You may as well have a knuckle duster on each knuckle." You know what I mean? We can't. I'm like, "You serious?" I said, "Can't." I said, "We drove all the way from Leicestershire." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He said, "Like, can't." And he weren't funny. He was just stating the rules.
It's his job, and it's Roadhouse.
And and so we went back to the car, and I took my boots off, and I walked back to the door in my socks.
Yeah.
And he's like, looked me up and down and said, "I can't let you in with them on." I'm like, "I took my Steelies off, mate. You know, if I kick anybody in my socks, don't going to do no damage, is it?" And he's like, "Honestly, mate," he said, "there's going to be broken glass everywhere. We get health and safety, we can't." And he said, I said, "Look, mate, we drove all this way. I've got these three girls. They're going to be gutted if we can't come in." He said, "Oh, for Christ's sake, just go and put your fucking boots back on, but we'll be watching you all night." And we had a great night. I shook all the doorman's hands when I walked out, and I said, "Thank you very much." And we went back to that club times, and they always let me in, but I always remembered and never took the Steelies again. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Right, buddy. Let's move on. Put you on that, don't we? Now then, I'll tell you what. I went to the Black Orchid once. In Derby.
Oh yes.
I never got in. They said some fucking bouncer gave me a fucking clue about. He gave me a question: where you from, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I said some fucking godforsaken place. He went, "What's behind the co-op?" And how did I know? And I said, "I don't know." And he says, well, you ain't coming in then. I says, oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, I sat outside waiting for the lads to come out. I swapped my shoes with another bloke. Swapped my shoes. Right, so what we on now then, mate?
We are on Trooper, the Iron Maiden beer.
I saw it in the shop and I thought, with you being a rocker and all that, I thought I'll give it a go, mate.
I believe they do about 3 different ones now. At least another one. The Trooper was the first one they did, I think. Lovely branding. We Eddie.
Oh yeah.
Obviously from the record, the Trooper with his in his British uniform with a. I think that was maybe one of the first ones they did with his shaven head.
Yeah.
But
they certainly know what they're doing there, don't they?
Yeah, and I seem to
charge
remember,
of the Light Brigade.
Yeah, I seem to remember hearing an interview with Bruce Dickinson, and said that we've actually had input in brewing this properly. Because we didn't just want to put our name to some, khaki sort of beer that everybody chucks out. Because I mean, a lot of bands do it.
Oh,
now.
Yeah, it's all.
I've got a Status Quo one. I've got a Motorhead one.
Well, yeah, I did.
Motorhead do a couple now. They do
the one I did?
Road Crew.
AC/DC. I did that.
I've not seen the DC one.
Yeah.
I've not seen that. The Motorhead have had. I think they do 2 now. They do just one that's just called Motorhead, and I think they do one that's called Road Crew. From a famous song, We Are the Road Crew, off Live at Hammersmith album. Really, really good version.
So they've done this. Onward, Onward, Road to God. Charge of the Light Brigade, which inspired the Iron Maiden song, The Trooper, took place at Battle of Balaclava, 1845. Not as old as my house.
No.
During the Crimean War, then 600 British cavalry courageously charged the massed Russian artillery. So this was launched in 2013, mate.
Yeah, that's been around a while. And
So-
you can get this on draft. It's not just on bottle. You can. I've actually got some nice merchandise for this. I've got a nice couple of bar towels, rubberised bar towels, and some nice glasses.
Can't beat rubber.
Trooper. Bit of rubber.
Let's dive in then, mate.
Cheers, mate. Good health.
Fucking hell, that's nice.
Proper ale, mate.
Yeah.
That's proper ale.
Old Brucey baby's got that sorted, isn't he?
You see, straight away, I'm not getting the gas from that. When
No.
I tried that to start with, I wanted to burp as soon as I took the first mouthful. That's a proper ale, mate.
Proper ale. None of this bloody French shit.
Yeah.
All this bloody. I mean, Scott will be watching. Well, Scott might watch it. And he's into all these IPAs and these craft beers, and Simon at Real Ale Craft Beer, they like all the craft beers and stuff, but to be fair, you're better off drinking something like this.
Am I old fashioned? I don't know. I like just a good ale.
Yeah, you just like
Give
a
me
beer.
a London Pride, give me a Pedigree, a Bass, a Pedigree. This, I class this as a real ale.
Yeah.
And it's and then I'll get comments saying, well, you say you like John Smith's and Worthington. I do, because I know it's going to be exactly the same, and it's a session beer.
Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
I mean, what's the strength on this?
4.7.
4.7. Yeah, you see, you ain't going out and doing 10, 12 pints of that. Well,
somewhat.
Well, yeah, I'll say you ain't. But yeah, okay.
Normal people ain't, are they?
No, they're not. No.
Somebody left a comment on one of the videos the other day. I took the piss. There's another YouTuber called Bold Foodie Guy, and a few months back, he came out. He's one of these binge drinkers. And anyway, he got pissed up, come home, running home, fell over and smashed his face in. And I said, you've got to respect beer.
Oh yeah, massively.
And I've also said in the past on videos that if it wasn't for me in June, I was drinking that much. I weren't, but the trouble is, Bren, and I think you're the same. You get to the stage where you don't get pissed.
Your tolerance goes up.
Yeah.
The more you drink, the same with drugs. Not that I do drugs, but it's just, with a heroin addict or something like that. They need a bigger dose.
Yeah. You're always looking for the next rush.
To get that same high.
Yeah.
And your body builds up a tolerance.
Yeah.
No matter whether it's drugs, whether it's drink, whatever, your body builds up a tolerance.
Yeah, of course it is. And anyway, I was saying that, you know, you've got to respect beer. You've got to respect that alcohol, the volume of it and stuff. And what I'm trying to say is I've totally lost the fucking thread here.
We're on about strength.
Yeah, strength of beer.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to fucking know your limits and respect the beer, because if you don't, you end up in a fucking state.
Yeah.
Don't you? And I was that's it. I was saying that, you know, if it wasn't for meeting June, I don't think I'd have ever been an alcoholic, but I think I was at the stage where I could just drink and drink and drink, and I wasn't getting fucking drunk.
I was saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never, as daft as it sounds, I probably did as a kid.
Yeah.
I can't remember doing it, but I've never drunk to get drunk.
No, I haven't.
I've never drank beer to get drunk.
No.
I drink because, like I've said before, I don't drink at home. I love the social aspect of being down the pub.
Yeah.
I like the crack down the pub. You know, I've got my favourite little local pubs that I use. And I love all the bar staff there. I love the customers. You know, and I just like the social aspect of being in a pub.
Yeah.
And I think partially, maybe some of that comes from because I live alone.
Yeah.
Because I live on my own.
Yeah.
You know, I'm basically going back to an empty house.
Yeah.
And which I don't mind. I don't get lonely. I love my own company. So you know, and I can quite happily sit there all day and all night playing video games or listening to music or, you know, whatever. I'll always find something to do.
Yeah.
But
you enjoy your own company, but you also enjoy Karen's company.
And I enjoy socialising.
Yeah.
So, you know, I do like being down the pub.
Yeah. And I was at the stage, but the thing is, I've never ever woke up needing a drink. I've never ever actually gone out and thought, fucking hell, I've got to get down the pub. I've never actually gone into a shop and think, I need 4 cans of fucking whatever.
Have you never actually had it in your head that, fuck me, I need to get down the pub?
No.
You want to try working for you?
No, I've never done that.
Joking, guys.
I like.
Great boss. When I'm working for, and I love working for.
Well, I just let you get on with it, don't I? But I like. I like going in a pub, and if I've got a thing like where it says, right, I'm meeting somebody in a pub. Yeah, I want to be there. Not because I don't want to be in the pub. I want to be in the pub. I mean, but I don't like saying I'll see you at 5, and I'm not there.
Yeah.
I've never had the, and I think some people get mixed up with drinking to get fucking hammered and not drinking just to be alright, really.
Yeah. I just enjoy the social aspect of being in the
I think I said the other week, Scott came up and I met him in the Spoons afterwards, and like, he says, I'm going home in a bit, do you want to meet up for a coffee? And I went in and like, I was fine.
I can remember you telling me.
And he was like hanging out his arse, and he's going, look, what are you? So are you? I'm like, no, why? He says, I'm fucking dying here.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's the way it is, mate.
It's like I've said before, when I'm sure I said it on a video before, when a lot of the younger lads who used to come out with me in Shep Shed, I'd always say to them, look, don't try and keep up. My old best mate was called Dave as well, not this Dave, but another Dave. And we were both drinkers. And these younger lads used to come out with us, they used to like to hang about with us, and I'd always say to them on a weekend, look, don't try and keep up.
No, don't try and keep up.
It's not big, it's not clever. You like, have a couple of pints with us, then have a Coke, or a lemonade, or a glass of water, or just miss around out. You know, just miss around out and take your time. Don't try and keep up with us, because if you do, you'll be going home at 9 o'clock.
You will.
And sure enough, the first couple of times they come out, they'd all try and keep up. And come 10 o'clock, they were puking up and going home.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'd still be going till 2 in the morning.
To be able to drink like we do,
you've got to build up the tolerance. It's an art.
Yeah, it is a fucking art. It is. I tell you what, right? People laugh, and some people might leave comments of whatever.
Drink responsibly, guys.
That's it. It is drinking responsibly, because...
Well, I think it is. It's like we were saying, I've said before, I like me John Smiths and me Worthington because it's a session beer, because it's so weak. I've always said, I said it in the pub about a month ago, the thing is, I think I was drinking Bass at the time. I said I love me John Smiths because I can go out and do 10 or 12 pints of John Smiths. Now I don't think it's big, I don't think it's clever, but I can go out and do 10 or 12 pints of John Smiths, no problem. And I said it to the landlord. I said, but you can't go out and do 10 or 12 pints of Bass.
No.
He said, you're on 11. I said, what? He said, that's your 11th pint of Bass. Of Bass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, my dad could drink. I don't think he can now because he's like fucking 80 odd. But my dad, I can remember my dad, he'd go out and he'd come back and he would think nothing of having 10 pints.
Yeah.
And be totally...
And I'll do the same, but I say it's not big and it's not clever, and I'm not certainly not showing off.
And my granddad said he was the same.
The amount the younger lads who've come out with us and said, oh God, I wish I could drink like you. And I'm saying, whoa, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I wish I could get pissed on 4 pints like you can.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot cheaper night.
Fucking would.
I've not seen your dad for ages. Is he alright?
Oh, fuck knows. I think so. I talked to him the other day. We're on about that Delapro stuff. So I sent him a message.
Oh, yeah.
He sent me a message. So I sent him something about Delapro. And, but no, he seems alright. He's alive. So there you go.
Which is more than my dad.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So there was, it's one thing to be thankful for.
Yeah, I suppose it is. So Neil's just texted. He's in the pub.
Has he?
Yeah, he says he's in there now. Says it'll be half hour, mate.
I watched your video, yours and Neil's video.
Oh, fucking hell. Did he demolish that fucking steak, mate?
I thought he would have bite his fingers off.
Fucking
I was actually
hell.
going to comment, and then I seen there were that many people who'd said, bloody hell, can't Neil eat quick, or Neil's going to take his fingers off, or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
It was like he hadn't ate for a month.
Yeah.
I love Neil. If anybody watched if you've not watched the video of Neil,
the last man in Britain to have a Greg.
To try Greg's, watch it. I love Neil, and I shall. Trust me now. I shall within the next 20 minutes be sitting in the pub with Neil and having a pint.
Well, he says it's like I'm trying to build the suspension up, the tents, and all that.
It's straight in.
And it's like I've put it there. He's like it's gone. I'm like, fucking hell, Neil. You're supposed to say let's tuck in.
I thought to myself, fuck me, he's halfway through that before Dave's even realised he's
didn't even. I looked to the left. He's fucking hated it.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. Some people are showmen and some people aren't.
Well, that's it.
What can I say, Dave?
That's it, innit?
It's either in your blood or it ain't.
Yeah, but no, people like Neil, so I'll have to take him. I will have to take him for another summer.
I love it. Neil is so down to earth. He is a proper, typical village person.
Yeah.
He's like he's a lovely bloke.
He's got no filter.
No, he's not. No.
If
Neil has not.
If Neil walked into Polly 2 and he went, "That looks shit," he'd say, "That looks shit."
Yeah. That's why it meant so much to me. Seriously, joking aside, when I was painting the outside of your place a couple of weeks ago, and I think 3 times Neil walked past, and when I was doing the last little bit on the front of Mrs. Moore's, as I call it, number 2, when I was doing that last apex there, and he says, "You know what, lad?" He says, "You've done a cracking job of that." And I thought, well, coming from Neil, I'll take that.
Well, I parked up outside his house the other day, and it was banging on the fucking... Well, it was halfway through, and he's banging on the window. I thought, what the fuck's that? It's Neil. He's going... is that the okay then, Neil?
Yeah. I love Neil.
Yeah. So, that's it. So... Looks like the battery's running out, mate. So
well, so is the beer, mate. So
So what
was an unexpected one, anyway.
It was unexpected. We'll wind this one up then, people. Don't know when the next beers from the Air Raid shelter will be because I'm going away, and you've got new jobs, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm working over Ashby Way for the next week or so.
Yeah. But no doubt we will do another one eventually. We'll get together and we'll drop some dates in and we'll get another one of these out. So
if the viewers want it,
I think they do. The nice little videos, mate. There are like the 2,000 odd views, and I'm happy with 2,000 views. We get lots of comments. Right. So we'll wind this up properly then, Bren.
Yep.
Yeah. Fucking hell, nearly lost my fat ass. off the edge of the bench. Yeah, we'll wind this up properly. We'll do another one, won't we, mate? But like I say, I'm away. You've got other work now, ain't you?
Yeah, so I'm over Ashby Way for the next week or so-ish, and then I've got another big job on, but we'll sort something out. The nights are still... I know it's solstice today, so...
Is that it?
It's the solstice today, so after today, mate, the nights start drawing in. Yeah, technic, I suppose, being a bit of an old hippie, I should have been at Stonehenge today, but...
Oh, fucking hell. They normally put all that kind of stuff on the internet,
yeah,
don't they?
I think it's today. I could be wrong.
Nowadays.
It's been known many times.
Is it the 21st? Is it the 21st? It's 20... No, is it tomorrow?
Could be tomorrow then.
Hey, you've still got a chance.
I've got time to get up there, haven't I?
Load the fucking Mazda up.
Yeah, I've got time to get up there.
Hey, you ought to paint that white and have a red stripe, then you'd look like Ghostbusters.
The old Mazda 6. Now, the reason I bought it is because it's black and it's with very, very slightly tinted windows. And it looks like a funeral car. It looks like a hearse. That's why I bought it. It looks even more like a hearse now. I've got the seats dropped.
So you're more like the Addams family.
Yeah, I was thinking about knocking up a quick plywood coffin and just sticking it in the back light. It just looks so good.
Few roses.
Yeah,
saying mum.
Yeah.
Mum in the back.
Yeah.
Or dad.
Yeah.
Or you could have one with Maddie, Madeline McCann.
Well, you can't prove that.
No, you can't.
Oh, you know, she could still be behind the sofa.
She could be behind the sofa and, I don't know, fucking...
Don't let me forget my phone this time.
No. Alright then, folks, we're going to knock this one on the head. I'm going to go and see Neil. And, yeah, do go and watch the Last Man to Have a Greggs in Britain.
It really is funny. It is. It's worth. If you've never come across Neil, watch it.
Yeah.
Neil is an absolute English gentleman, and we're going to go and have a pint with him now.
Yeah.
Mate.
So, all right, buddy. Thank you very much for doing these.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
And we will do more. All right.
Bye, guys.